Welcome to another video. In this video we are getting a little festive for Valentine's Day, and I normally don't celebrate Valentine's Day to this extent, but something came over me and I wanted to do a little something for my family. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So we are starting off with a little bit of hibiscus lemonade tea, I like to call it. So I'm gonna start off with 4 cups of water, and I'm spilling all over the place. 4 cups of water, and then I'm gonna add in about 2 to 3 teaspoons of hibiscus leaves. I let that simmer a little bit and steep. And while that's doing its thing, I like to get my honey syrup going. I add in about a cup of honey and an equal amount of water and let that, kind of melt and combine. You don't necessarily have to do it over heat. I just like to do it that way because it's quicker. Then I give that a good stir and let it combine and melt and do its thing. And then at this point, my tea should be good to go. I turn off the fire, let it sit just a little bit, and then I get ready to strain it. I started using my coffee pour over to strain this because it just makes life easier, and I just love making my tea this way. I feel like I get a really good steep, and then the strain is just impeccable. I obviously decided to use hibiscus for that beautiful red color that it gives the tea, which is perfect for Valentine's. Now I'm cutting my lemon because I love that lemony flavor, that lemony taste in my tea. So once I finish juicing, I add that to my pitcher, and then I add in my tea. Now normally I let my tea cool, but I was very impatient and I wanted to just get to it. So I poured in my very hot tea and then I added 2 cups of water along with my honey syrup. I did about 3/4 cups of honey syrup. Mix that well, and then I set it aside so it could cool, and then I refrigerate it. So now that our tea is done, it's time to move on to some chocolate chip cookie dough. Today I'm gonna make some brown sugar from scratch. It's the easiest thing in the world to make, and it is so worth it. I'm just adding in 2 cups of cane sugar along with 4 tablespoons of molasses. I'm using my food processor to combine it all, and it is just so rewarding. I love fresh brown sugar. The only thing I will say is that I do not like the smell of molasses, but when this stuff is in my chocolate chip cookie dough, I don't care nothing about that smell. So I'm just using my scraper to make sure I get all the gooey goodness combined with the sugar. And look at it. Look how amazing that turns out. It's just so soft and just delicious. You guys have to make your own brown sugar. Now to all of our other ingredients for our cookies, I'm just adding in 2.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and mixing that well so that everything is evenly distributed. Now once all of the dry ingredients are taken care of, I'm moving on to the wet ingredients. So I'm adding 2 sticks of butter, to salted butter. We gotta make sure it's salted, okay? None of that non-salted butter. So 2 sticks of salted butter, 3/4 cups of sugar. So we're gonna make sure we get that nice and saturated with our butter. We want sugary, buttery goodness. And then adding in that brown sugar, that fresh brown sugar that we just finished making. Once that's nice and combined, we're gonna add in the eggs, 2 eggs for this, and then we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I love making this cookie dough. It never fails me. Once I found this recipe, I never turn back, and I love it. So now I'm adding in all the dry ingredients, and I'm making sure I do it a little at a time. You don't want to put in all the flour at one time, and then be careful not to overmix. We don't want a cake, we want a cookie. Now I'm adding in some chocolate chips and having a good time doing it. And then I'm just gently folding in my chocolate chips into my cookie dough. And then I'm gonna put that in a separate container and put that in the refrigerator for when I'm ready to bake it. Now that our cookie dough is done and chilling, we are going to make something different. So I've never made this beet hummus before, and I was really excited to make it for this occasion because it gives that beautiful, bright, vibrant pink color. Now I'll have the recipe linked in the description if you guys want to make this, because I didn't film every single step that is necessary for this recipe. It wasn't a bunch of different steps before mixing it in my food processor, but there were some other steps. So check out the recipe, and I recommend you guys making it because this hummus was so good. Like, if you don't like beets like myself, you will appreciate this because you do not taste beets at all. Can you tell that I'm like impressed with how good it is? It is really good. So now I'm just plating my hummus, and you know, everything has to look beautiful. You can't just throw something in a dish and call it a day. You gotta make it look cute. You gotta add some garnish on top. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you have to. Like, that's what makes food taste better. So I'm drizzling some olive oil, adding some fresh parsley, and then topping it with some feta cheese. Never went to the grocery store to get pita chips, so I decided I'm just gonna use my sourdough bread, cut some cute little hearts out, bake it so that it has a little bit of a crisp to it, and dip it in my hummus. And that's what I did, and it came out really good. I enjoyed it. I think everybody enjoyed it. I will say I baked it a little too long because I truthfully forgot it was in the oven, but had I remembered, it would have been perfect, and it was still good even though I forgot it and was in there too long. But definitely would recommend some sourdough bread dipped into your hummus. But if you want to keep it traditional, get some pita chips. Now to the main dish. We are going to be making some pasta with a homemade pasta sauce. So I'm dicing up some shallots. I got my garlic ready, and then I'm dicing up some onions. I only used half an onion for this and one whole shallot along with like 4 garlic cloves. So I add that to a pan of olive oil, let that simmer down. Then I start adding in my herbs, some salt, some pepper, and then I add in canned whole tomatoes. While my sauce is simmering and reducing, I have a big pot of water boiling. It's ready to go. I add in some salt, lots of salt. We gotta salt that water for that pasta. And this super cute pasta I found at World Market. It's a really cute heart pasta. Going forward, I would probably do a dish that is geared toward baking, like a pasta baked dish, because my pasta just did not stay in its cute little heart-shaped form. It wasn't that I overcooked it or anything. I just felt like there was too much agitation and it ended up not staying the way it should have. And you guys will see that I realized that I strained all of my pasta water. This is the moment I realized it, and I was so upset because I like to add some of my pasta water to my pasta sauce. So that was a L. So now I'm just adding all of my pasta sauce ingredients to the blender to get it nice and blended and smooth. A nice smooth sauce for my pasta, and add that back to my pan and let it cook down some more. Give it a little taste test, and then I decided to add in some creaminess. I added in coconut milk. I added in more of the fattier, creamy part of the coconut milk to just give the pasta sauce a creamier consistency. So you can see that when I add in my pasta to the sauce, it's still in its heart form. It still looks really good, but as I mixed it around in the sauce and poured it into its serving ware, it didn't hold its form anymore, and That was a bummer because I wanted the girls to see the cute little hearts, but only some of them survived. So now to the fun part. I got these M&M alternatives. They're a healthier version.
Oh my
And
gosh,
I was so
pink
bummed out
ones.
that they only had a few pinks. You know, I was only going to use the pink and the purple for Valentine's theme, and they didn't even have very many pinks. So that was annoying, but we still ended up making our cute little heart cookie. So I put all the dough in the pan with the girls. Now this pan, I got a recommendation from someone I follow on Instagram. Shout out to her because this was the cutest little idea and the girls loved it. I loved it. And it was just so much fun. So we smashed in all the cookie dough evenly throughout the pan. And then we ended up topping it with the festive colored Unreal candies, fake M&Ms. I don't know what you want to call them, but it was a fun time nonetheless. This is seriously the cutest little Valentine's edition. Such a treat for the kids. And we baked that on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. Now to the extra fun part of setting the table. I got this super cute blush pink tablecloth from Amazon. I'll link that below if you guys are interested. Then I had to put some flowers on the table. So I put that in a vase of water. Got some candles. These candles are very clean, beeswax candles, unscented. I also got these from Amazon. I'll link them below if you guys are interested in those. And then I just set the table and just got it. It's just so beautiful visually. Once everybody came downstairs, they enjoyed it. All the food was nice and prepped for them. Drinks were there, cups were there, plates, everything was just good to go. And just it looked beautiful. And this is just my little treat, something that I wanted to do for my family because this is how I show my love, acts of service. I think we always talk about like our love language, but I think my giving love language is acts of service to my family. I love to fill their bellies. I love to make them feel good. I love to just do crafty things for them, and that's just the way I show my love. And in my opinion, this is what makes life beautiful, just elevating the small things in life, like sitting around the table with loved ones, eating dinner with beautiful flowers and candles and just a beautiful atmosphere. Like that, to me, elevates a moment, elevates life, and makes life feel special. This year, I definitely wanted to show my love in that way for Valentine's Day, and I know they enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that this video gave you some ideas of what you could do for your family. Have a good one, you guys.